What another bloody Friday on the market. But the good news is when you look at the AMC stock in particular, things were not as bad, things ended not as worse as I will anticipate, worse than what we already are since, the 20s or since the downtrend from the 34, all right? So how is that a good news? Because it might indicate that we are getting a little bit closer, or a lot more closer, as we say, a lot more closer to the bubble or the short selling bubble from exploding. Why? Because this is already a highly shorted stock, all right? And look at the market today. I mean, look at the Dow Jones. This is the worst day for the Dow and the S&P 500 since 90-70 for a month of April, because month of April are usually a naturally bullish months, but this is a month where the performance of the stocks were like, but I would expect a stock like AMC, which is already in the trash, which is already in the toilet, to be even further beaten down. But that simply did not happen because, as I mentioned earlier, even on the month we're down 40%, it's because we had a huge run up here, all the way up to 34 intraday, and it's you can see 47%. So the major contributor to the performance or the bad performance of the stock for this month, it's really the taken down from the last run up. Now, if you take today, if you take yesterday, if you take this whole week, it is not as bad. It's not as bad as I would expect a stock highly shorted as AMC to be. So it indicates that, well, as we are seeing, hedge funds cannot be 100% accurate, 100% correct, 100% right when it comes to a certain strategy. And we know that for AMC, it's clear that they are trying to hold this down. I mean, they're trying really, really hard because it's going to be a lot more expensive for them to continue to do that. So it makes sense that on a day like this where, the NASDAQ is down 4%, the Russell down almost 3%, that AMC will not go down 6%. All right, 7, 8, or 10%, because that is exactly what we would expect. Why? Because when the market is this red, when the market is this bad, when negativity by looking at the VIX index is this high, it makes sense and it's easier for them to continue to short the stock. But shorting the stock also means you need to borrow the shares. It means you need to have people lending you the shares. But what if these people that are willing to lend you the shares for you to borrow are not willing to do that anymore because they're anticipating that in the next coming weeks, in the next coming months, this might start to reverse sharply, especially as the entire market digest all the information and get out of this kind of overreaction zone where every time Federal Reserve speaks about interest rate getting increased, then the market pukes out, all right? And that will cause short sellers across the board to start covering their positions. And some of them might get themselves caught up in this recovery for the market as a whole, and then pushing price of AMC even a lot more higher. That's what I'm saying. The bubble might start to be steaming down and to explode a little bit sooner, maybe than we anticipated, but doesn't have to happen exactly when we want it to happen because nobody knows. That's just, the nature of this thing. You can't predict the future, but you can be prepared so that when it turns your vision, when it turns, towards your direction, that's when you get the gains. So, I'll see you in the next one, folks.